get a lot of calls that are like this, and the mother is saying, my husband tells me, you're being weak. You're letting him get away with everything. It's always one spouse who's tougher and one spouse who's easier. And the tougher one says, it's your fault. If you wouldn't let him walk all over our house and all of our rules, he wouldn't do it. You're letting him. Like they think that if you stop him, he's going to be, oh, I'm back in yeshiva. The other one says, no, it's your fault. You're being so tough. Don't you know anything? Unconditional love. Didn't you ever read any articles in the last 10 years? What is this unconditional love? Baba Maisis, it's from the Goyim. And Hashem is in our house, and this is our house, and we have a house of Kedusha, we have a house of Tara. I will not let him bring this tumah into this house. He's representing Torah, right? And she says, no, but I have to love him, because if we don't show love, then he's gonna run away from the house. Let him run away from the house. I'm not ruining my house and everything I built and the other kids. And this fight goes back and forth. And on the phone, whenever I tell this to people, they're like, are you in our kitchen? Are you in the bedroom? How do you know this? There's always one. Usually the mother's the unconditional love one. I don't know what happens in that stomach for 9 months. Did you guys you just stick with that kid? And usually the fathers are the ones who are tough and angry and put our foot down. It's my house, my rules. This is the way we got to do it. And then the Torah, and especially the Bali Tshuva or the very frum ones, the bigger that brim of the hat is, the more we got to kill this kid. And I will not let tumah in my house, and it's Kedusha, and it sounds very holy. A lot of Jewish words are thrown into the mix. And the truth of the matter is that neither of them really knows or has experience on what's going to work for the kid. Like I asked the tough guy, I'm like, do you think that if you're tough on your child, that he's going to stop doing drugs? Do you have any data proving that? No. Do you have any data proving that if you're going to be tough on him, he's going to want to be frum? Any data? No. Just the gut feeling? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the mother, you're saying you have to love the kid no matter what. And then what? He's going to say, I'm going to turn around. I'm going back to yeshiva. Like, do you have any data? Neither of them really knows. You can't know. You can't know. Even if you're a big Rav, a big tzaddik, you can't know unless you have Ruach HaKodesh, you're a Gadol Ador, that Hashem speaks through you, or you have experience. So I asked those fathers. Once had actually, the mother was so tough, and if the father was so edel, he was like, no, I love my kids no matter what. It was like finally a switch. So where do you get this from? The Baal Shem Tov didn't say that. The Baal Shem Tov said, Yinasu l'mashchem ba'avoisais ahava v'loy l'tchoisem chalila. I'm sorry, that was a Chazon Ish, right? You think you're more frum than the Chazon Ish? You're more frum than Rabbi Yeshua Edelstein Shlita? You're more frum than the Satmar Rebbe, Belzer Rebbe? Tell me, where are you from? Who do you look up to? And I have a collection of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you think they didn't know that? When the Baal Shem Tov said, it's here on my wall, Baal Shem Tov said, Adam kasher shiyatzabanav l'tarbis roisu l'kvira. A good Jew and his children went to tarbis roisu l'kvira. V'tziva ha Baal Shem Tov la'aviv, and he commanded the parents lehoiv oisam b'yoser u'machmas ois yetzei mikvira. You want the medicine for tarbis rois, for going after taiva and kfira and atheism? The Baal Shem Tov told you what it is. You're not Hasidish enough to follow the Baal Shem Tov, follow the Chazon Ish. You're smarter than all of that. But you can't, who said? Show me where. I'll show you 1,000 stories. So even if you show me where, you're still going to be diluted, batal b'shishim, batal b'elef. For every story that you may find, and I'm out there looking for stories, you'll find 1,000 that say only love. Don't be marachik. Don't be marachik. Don't be marachik. Don't be angry. Don't push him away. Do you know that when we hear, how many families can I know are over 500 families? In some families, it's geschmack. I just spoke to them. They're sitting over here. I don't want to embarrass them, but they were here 2 weeks ago. You're already You just like, oh, this is what we need to do? The kid was waiting for you. They dropped the first gift bomb, which was amazing, and the kid hugs his parents and says, I know you always loved me. I know everything you did to me was out of love. Because they didn't do such bad stuff. So now it's like, you just saved 5 years of the journey. Now you just need to do this. It's going to be Be'ezus Hashem, smooth sailing. And then I have other parents where the kid's like, I don't want to talk to you. You hurt me so much since I started struggling. And all of it was in the name of Torah, in the name of Hashem. You killed him. How many mistakes did you make until this point? Why can't you be humble enough to just say, I don't know? And you know, couples will argue about anything. This is one thing you don't have to argue about anymore. If you think you want to make a left and you think you want to make a right, call Avi. That's my job. You're under my care with Das Torah. If you're not sure what to do, just make this Hareini Makabel Olai. I am Makabel myself. If I don't know what to do with my kid, I'm going to give him a hug. That's not unconditional love of the Goyim. That's the Chazon Ish. Yinasu l'mashcham ba'avoisais ahava v'loi l'tchaisam chalila. And that's what Chavrei Me'atzis Gedolei HaTorah said. That's what Rav Pam said to do. You tell me where you're from. That's what they said to do. Real Jews, Rav Steinman Zatzal, that's what he said to do. He said, make the home the most comfortable place. That you can't do that while you're looking at your kid with anger and criticizing. How many kids do we have to bury before Klal Yisrael wakes up and realizes we have success following Das Torah? Why are you still fighting? No, your kid is not bad because your wife is going easy on him. Letting him get away with stuff doesn't make them worse. Your whole brain is twisted. If it's chinuch that you're dealing with and you think that you have to stop them from getting away with stuff, you're off the beaten path. That's not chinuch. If you're in a power struggle and you think you have to stop them from being bad, you're not a mechanech. You missed the whole boat. You got to start from the beginning. And for those of you who are not in crisis yet, Rabbeinu Shalom, stop it. Don't fight. Just say, I don't know what to do. I'll tell you, I don't know what to, I just love you so much. And go out and have fun in any way that you can. And stay out of machlaikas. Stop burying your own kids. Because then by the time they get to me, and we're undoing years. Look what's going on in group. You could see right away when you come here, it doesn't really matter how bad the kid is. It matters how bad your relationship is with him. How many years we have to undo your mistakes, pardon me, for being pig-headed and saying, I'm not listening to the Gedolim and I'm not listening to this and I'm not going to go and I'm going to put my foot down until you crumble because it's do or die and you don't want to bury your kid, and now we got to undo years and years and years and years. If you're fighting with your child, you're wrong. You're dealing with it wrong. You will never accomplish what you want, even if you win this battle. You'll lose the war. But what should I do now? If you don't have a great relationship, that he thinks that you like him, and you don't have tons of fun times and good times and gifts, then it doesn't really matter what you do because you lost. And if you do all of that, then it doesn't really matter what you do because you won. What are you doing in between the blow-ups? You going out together? You taking him to a nice restaurant? You telling him, I'm proud to be your father, but there's nothing to be proud of. Watch some of my clips. You'll see. There's plenty to be proud of. All the guys on the street like him a lot. All the mentors on the street who are saving kids, we see they're good, but you can't because you're in pain. So admit it. I'm in a lot of pain because I wanted a frum kid and Hashem sent me the wrong kid. And it hurts. And I'm a puny human being and I'm embarrassed of my neighbors. Even though you shouldn't be, because the biggest gedolim have children or grandchildren off the derech throughout the ages, and especially in our dar. Really, stop being embarrassed. We're past that. Everybody is looking at you. You're right. Everybody's watching. Yeah, you're right. Give him something to talk about. Put your arm around your kid and walk around the block. And everyone's saying, 95% people today say, pshh, azoy daf mentin. Be a gibor. Stop being a Stop being a nothing. And that's what I realized. You're not tough. You're weak. The tough people are weak. They can't control themselves. So if they get upset or they get nervous or they're worried about the neighbors or they have low self-esteem, they blow up. I always thought they're strong. They're the weakest people. The strong people are silent, are pensive, are thinking. What's the best thing for us to do now? What's the best thing for the long term? And what happens is, when you start to spiral and you do wrong, you're just making the spiral worse. But if from the beginning you knew what to do at the spiral and you were trained properly, first of all, they're still going to spiral, but instead of this all the way down to the ground, it's going to be slower and it's going to undo it because I have my mommy and my tati, my best friends, like you said. This guy said tonight, a year ago, the NKN level, the Nafshei Kshura B'Nafshei level was 0. And now he says, we're best friends. I enjoy, you already got a round of applause. My best friend, that kid is geholfen. He's already saved. I don't care what bad friends he has. I don't care what happened to him. I don't care, Nebuch, that he went through terrible trauma and all of that. He's going to work it out. He's a geholfener. Al-Pi statistics. According to statistics, he is saved. Because when my father is my best friend and my mother is my best friend, that's your whole job. Then they don't die. And then they want to be like us eventually. They do what they can. And the journey is so sweet. So sweet. You are the leaders of Klal Yisrael.